Hello folks and welcome back to another week of LEGO news. We've had a lot dropped on us in the last few days. We've had massive official reveals, $1,000 Star Wars leak that's basically the size of a small moon, albeit quite a flat one, and loads, and I mean loads, of 2026 rumours are starting to drop as well. So grab yourself a beverage and a snack, hide your wallets, and let's get into it. And let's start with the big magical headline, because LEGO have officially revealed the Harry Potter Hogsmeade Village Collector's Edition set. This is a 3,228 piece wintry wizardy street scene with 7 buildings. I am reading the buildings from a list because I don't know them off the top of my head. We've got Honeydukes, the 3 Broomsticks, the Owl Post, Dervish and Bangs, Scrivenshaft's Quill Shop, Zonko's... Were they making these up? Zonko's Joke Shop and the Hogshead Pub. You also get 12 minifigures, including Harry, Ron, Hermione, McGonagall, Slughorn, Madame Rosmerta and Aberforth Dumbledore, amongst loads more. The price is a whopping $349.99 in the UK, and it's releasing on the 1st of September for LEGO Insiders, the 4th for everybody else. And because it's back to Hogwarts week, LEGO are also throwing in up to 3 gifts with purchase, depending on how much you spend and what you buy within the Harry Potter range. So you get the Room of Requirement mini set if you spend £130 or more on Harry Potter. You get the Quidditch lesson polybag at a £40 spend on Harry Potter, and a metal Hogsmeade sign, but that one is only if you buy the Hogsmeade set itself during launch week. But that does mean if you buy that very expensive Hogsmeade set, you do get all 3 of those gifts with purchase. They are stackable. And as cool as the set looks on first glance, and it does look cool, dig a little deeper and some questions do start to emerge. I think the goal of this set is for it to be a companion to the other collector's edition sets, like the massive Diagon Alley and Gringotts sets. But that Diagon Alley comparison is a dangerous one for LEGO to make, because it doesn't make for particularly good reading for the new set. Coming in at only £40 less than Diagon Alley, the Hogsmeade Village has got over 2,000 fewer pieces, sits on just 3 half base plates rather than the 4 that Diagon Alley does, and also has 2 fewer minifigures. Add into the mix the recently retired and massively cheaper at just £80 Hogsmeade Village Visit set that released in 2021 and retired last year, and that I imagine a lot of Harry Potter and Winter Village collectors will already own, and it starts to become hard to justify the price of the new set. It's undeniably better and more detailed than the previous Hogsmeade set, and will go really nicely with those other Harry Potter Collector's Edition sets, but I'm certainly not ready to spend this kind of cash on what's effectively just a bit of an upgrade on a set I already have, especially when, for me, all I'd want for it is to put it in my Winter Village for a few months each year. But I'm not really a Harry Potter fan, so maybe my take is way off the mark. I'd love to hear down in the comments what Harry Potter collectors think. And still looking at Harry Potter, we've also got 2 new brickheads coming on the 1st of September. The Goblet of Fire figures at 671 pieces, $44.99, and 5 characters. You get Harry, Cedric, Victor, Fleur, and a Hungarian horntail dragon. And then we've also got another brickheads, this time a 2-pack, Luna Lovegood and the Thestral, 250 pieces at $17.99. And yeah, that Thestral, he looks like my kind of guy. He might have to join some of his buddies here on my Brickheads display. We've got a quick one from Disney next. That Wally and Eve set that we talked about last time has now been officially revealed. It's 811 pieces, $59.99, and is also out on the 1st of September. We've known about that one for weeks, thanks to Rumours. We know it's great. We know I'm getting it, so I think we can just move on from that one. And specifically, we're going to move on to 2 new Wednesday sets coming out on the 1st of October. We've got Things Apartment, 828 pieces for $74.99, which is basically a creepy trunk that opens into Things' surprisingly well-decorated living space. Anna loves this set and has already told me it's going to be coming home with us when we go to the LEGO store in October. What might not be, though, is the other Wednesday set, Morticia's Cottage. This one is 1,002 pieces, retailing for $89.99. It's a 2-story Gothic cottage, contains 4 mini dolls, plus Morticia's car. And the big downside there, of course, is that it's mini dolls rather than minifigures, which I just can't get my head around on a set that surely isn't being aimed at kids, because as far as I'm aware, this is not a kids show. I keep asking, I'm pretty sure it's not a kids show, but it is perfect Halloween timing, although even on that front, potentially a bit odd that we didn't get these sets in August with the rest of this year's LEGO Halloween wave and the release of the new season of the show. But I don't set the schedules, apparently. Moving back to September the 1st, and we've also had the official announcement of the next 2 Nike collab sets. I think these are the only 2 remaining as well. I think it was always just going to be 3 sets this year. So we've got the Slam Dunk, which is 809 pieces, $59.99, and allows you to build a big brick-built basketball player mid-dunk, who looks a bit like a robot. And then we've also got the Dunk Trick Shot, which is 454 pieces at $34.99 and gives you a street court scene with a playable trick shot feature. It actually looks quite cool. Now, I liked the first Dunk set that we got back in July. I bought it, I built it, it's on display in our LEGO room, but I certainly don't need 2 more Dunks on my shelf. So these ones I think are going to be an easy skip for me, despite the fun looking play feature of the cheaper one. And I still think they are missing a trick by not just doing a Jordan 1, which I think is the Lego shoe everybody wants. Although, as someone did point out to me on TikTok, there's probably all sorts of additional licensing issues attached to doing something like that, which might explain why this entire collaboration seems to be focused around just the one shoe, the Dunk. We also now have official images of the Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse CMF series. We already knew this series was coming, but we hadn't seen the figures themselves. There's 12 figures, as usual. They're £3.49 each and release from the 1st of September. And as usual, we'll probably be hitting service stations, train stations, WH Smiths and wherever else a little bit early, because if you're not a specialist toy retailer, you tend to ignore street dates. So I would be keeping an eye out on these for any time from now onwards. And this series is packed. We've got Miles, Gwen, Spider-Punk, Miguel, Peter B, with Baby Mayday, and a bunch of deep cut Spidey variants from these very cool Spider-Verse movies that I really, really enjoy. Although definitely couldn't name all of the characters if you line them up in front of me. I'm not that into it. I just enjoy the movies. But personally, despite not really being a minifigure guy, I can't wait for these. I will be ordering a full box of this so that I can get them all over the Lego City. And I think Anna wants a set for display as well, because these are her favourite movies. And I guess you can't talk about CMFs without speculating on which one we think is going to be the one that everyone is scanning their little boxes with their nerdy little phones to try and get their sticky little fingers on this time. Which one are we not going to be able to find? Let me know down in the comments so I can buy 100 of them before they release, because I'm a monster. Now, folks, we're not even halfway there yet on all the news in this video, but if you are enjoying it, please make sure you hit the like button. It really does help the channel. And if you are new here, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss next week's news roundup, plus all the daily Lego content that will be coming in between. Right, it is time for the big one. The long-rumoured UCS Death Star has been leaked. It's been all over the internet. I'm sure if you want to see these images, you've already seen these images because they are everywhere. So I don't think there's any real upside to me risking another copyright strike from Lego by showing them here. So I'm not going to. And I imagine, having said all that, they'll officially announce this set this afternoon before I've released this video, and I'll just look like a bit of a Wally. But the set itself is number 75419. It's going to have around 9,000 pieces and that absurd $999.99 price tag in American dollars. And it has sent the Trekkies into a tailspin. From that leaked box image, it's basically looks like it's the middle slice of a big, and I mean really big, grey ball with loads of diorama designs inside. And I actually think it looks pretty cool if you're into spaceships and whatnot. I think it's basically the Star Wars equivalent of the Batman Batcave shadow box, which is one of my favourite sets in my collection. I really like this kind of thing. It also comes with a ridiculous minifigure lineup, which I know is a big selling point for Star Wars sets, including Luke, Leia, Han, Vader, loads more. I've got a long list. I can't pronounce half of them. Not going to make myself look silly. Chewie's in there. I love Fur Guy. Expect the set to drop in October 2025 and start clearing some shelf space now because it is a big one. That's assuming, of course, you've not been put off by it not just being a big grey circle, which I'm led to believe by the internet you did just want a grey ball. I don't really understand. Star Wars people, explain to me in the comments what's wrong with this, because I don't think I get it. And now, as we reach the end of 2025, it's August. Retail is bonkers. But as we reach the end of 2025, loads of LEGO's plans for next year are starting to emerge. So I've compiled a quick fire roundup of some of the stuff that's been spotted for 2026 already. Obviously, we'll have way more details on these sets in the coming weeks and months, because some of these are a long, long way off yet. But January 2026 is going to have big waves of Minecraft, Disney, Friends, Creator, Duplo, Marvel, Star Wars, Ninjago, 2 Lunar New Year sets, and a new CMF series themed around animal costumes, which sounds awesome. The Star Wars early 2026 wave, and we're talking both January and March here, the split between the two, has a mix of mechs, battle packs, and mid-sized ships, as I think you'd expect, and the now traditional, eye-watering Star Wars prices. The Marvel January wave also includes mechs. I really hate mechs. But Ghost Rider and a £100 plus set that at the moment we only have a set number for, so feel free to rampantly speculate on what that might be down in the comments. We're also getting a DC wave in March 2026, and that currently includes 3 sets, as well as the return of the Legend of Zelda theme in March with a new 1,000 piece 18 plus set, and we know the set numbers and prices of the first 2 Pokémon sets, currently marked as early 2026, so we don't actually know what month they're coming out yet, but one of them's going to be £60 and the other one is £200. So my completely unfounded guess is a playset sized 3 starters buildable figures set at the £60 price point and a massive £200 18 plus Charizard. That would be a lovely way to kick off the new theme. Like I say, absolute speculation on my part. I've seen nothing to suggest that either of them are actually happening. And also remember, LEGO, if you're watching, and I assume you are, I do need a modular Pokemon Center for the LEGO City ASAP, so I do hope you're working on that one. And then we also have some information on this year's Winter Village set, specifically why its price has jumped so much from last year. We talked about this a few weeks ago, and it's because it's a train set. We don't have any details or images yet, but the Winter Express train is expected in October, and I guess will replace the Holiday Main Street tram in my Winter Village this year. And that is your lot. Massive week. Which one's been your favourite? The cozy Hogsmeade Street, the insane Death Star, the Spider-Verse minifigures? Let me know down in the comments. And as always, thanks for watching. Give the video a like if you found it useful, and I will see you next week for more LEGO news. Toodle pip, folks.